Texas. Welcome to the Tar and Feather Podcast. Here are your hosts, Mustached Vet and Ganglion Cortex. Whoa!
Hey!
Evening, everybody. We were just chit-chatting in the backstage, I guess.
Behind the
curtain. Corey, we have a guest.
We've got a very special guest here.
Yep, we got Dean Remington, 22-year U.S. Air Force retired crew chief of the A-10 Warthog. Well, flew the A-10 Warthog or worked on the A-10 Warthog?
No, I've been a mechanic since I was 19.
Worked on the A-10 Warthog. And Air Force OSHA, former contractor, Shadow UAS Instructor. And I looked up UAS today because I had no clue what it was. Unmanned Air Systems?
Aerial System, yep, UAS. Yep,
Aerial Systems, yep. All right. Originally from Buffalo, New York, and now living in Lillian, Alabama. He's a sportsman, patriot, father, and grandfather. So welcome to the show, Dean.
Thank you so much for having me on this lovely Friday night. Spring has sprung here in Alabama. We're doing well.
Right on, dude. Right on. All right, Corey, it's all yours.
Yes, Mr. Dean. I have been thinking about it, and yeah, our interactions all began off of a Facebook post. He had posted, I don't even know, some border group that he was running, that he needed help down at the border. So that's where we first met. And he invited me over to his house, needed some help around his house, was doing some stuff. And I was like, wow, he thinks just like me.
Yeah, right on.
Like he was saying things and talking about different scenarios, and I was just like, wow, no one else just speaks like this. So, right off the bat, pretty much that first day, I was like, oh, I like this guy. See what else he's about. A whole bunch of trips down to the border.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of time down there. Doing
Boots on the ground, baby. Boots on the ground.
Yep.
Now, were you guys down south in Nogales or Sonora?
Well, when did this venture start? Do you remember? Was it 20? Let's see. I was in Corona in 2008, and there. So I think.
I don't know. It's like 2014 or something.
The year, maybe 15 or something like that.
I think that's about right. That's when I was there.
Well, yeah.
Before when I was going to
coming up,
UTI.
9 years. Wow.
So it's been it's Sally and I have been together since 2014. So I think it was shortly after that because she would make our meals to go down to the border. We'd go we have full cuisine dinners already made and serve and but yeah, it started all out because I used to run with a guy Tim Foley, aka Naylor, Arizona Border Recon. Helped him out a little bit in some areas. Kind of realized that there's more to it than meets the eye, and then linked up with another group called Arizona Defense Force, and then 3 United Patriots. So everybody was running that border for quite some time, but some were a little more, I guess, orientated, savvy. Some came in from other states, so it's kind of like a hodgepodge. But I wanted to create an entity where we took veterans, former law enforcement, police, people that may have all different skill sets, and hit the border. So Corey and I created what was known as SATSAR, Southern Arizona Tracking, Search, and Rescue. So we came up with that. We worked in conjunction with Arizona Defense Force. We worked with Arizona Border Recon. Our area of operations was just, what would you say, west of Nogales and east of Sassabee, kind of like in an area, we call it the no man's land, but California Gulch, to be exact. So
right on.
Lots of memories, lots of good times. That's where we got to, and then I believe Corey moved out to Corona shortly after.
Got the Corona. Yep.
So
Yeah. So you guys met before he lived in the same neighborhood as you.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
you were
Years
no,
past
you
I
told
thought-
me you were you were living further down I-10. Yeah, you were still out in
Yeah.
Yeah, I was in the city.
correct.
What, weren't you in Oro Valley at the time, or Marana? Not Marana. Yeah, Oro Valley.
Yeah.
I'm up by McGee.
Up on the McGee. Yeah.
Yeah, McGee
And
and
so,
Oracle area.
So
Yeah.
that's right. We used to pick our location by map and just meet down there, our
Yeah.
central meeting point too. That was another thing.
Sick.
Everybody coming together at one time and getting down there. So any
Right on.
given, you might have 5, you might have several, you might have 8, sometimes 10. A lot of good patriots, a lot of good experiences, and then the reports were fun. We wrote a bunch of reports together. We sent tons of stuff up to Homeland Security. Got a DHS Intel card in my wallet now, so get out of jail free if I need a phone call. Did some favors.
I know a guy. His name's John Smith.
So yeah,
Bobolinski.
Right on, guys. Right on. And then Corey ended up moving out there shortly after that, and that's
Yeah, who knows?
That's a
I
nice
might be moving
area.
to Alabama at some point.
yeah,
keep
right.
Keep talking that up.
Keep talking it up.
oh yeah, we're down here in a kind of a
New
unique
ventures,
area,
man.
not too far from Pensacola and NAS, just over the bay and up the road. So it's close proximity. And you go see Blue Angels every week practice.
Yep.
You get out, it's a pretty nice area.
I was about to say they have that naval base right there, right?
Yeah, Coast Guard's attached to it too. Got Naval
Right.
and Coast Guard. So
That's
yeah,
sick.
That's not a Blue Angel. That's another bird.
that's the Blue Angel C-130 support plane, Fat Albert.
Okay, I like that.
That's
I like the
awesome.
sounds of
Yeah,
this.
it's cool. Yeah, I did
I
not
don't
know
think I've
that.
ever seen that.
We'll climb
I
that.
now see that that's a lighthouse. It looks like a lighthouse, and the plane is flying near. That looks like a statue. It looks like the plane is hanging on it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So when I
It's a
saw
big
that
bird.
first, I didn't realize it was in the air.
I like
I
that.
thought it was stuck to that thing.
Wow. See, that's another thing. I'm always learning new things from
It's like a
Dean.
giant model. Yeah, that's cool. I've seen the Blue Angels in
Whenever I have a plane
in
question, I just
real
hit
life.
him up.
Right
So
on.
there's two real ways to watch it. You can go on the flight line and do the VIP show, which we can all get on there and do that one time. Or you go by water and you sit out in the bay where the Pensacola Bay dumps out in the Gulf, and they fly. All their overflies are right there, so you can do a flight line show one time and then do. Sometimes they go back to back. They'll practice like on a Tuesday and a Wednesday. So do a water show in the boat, and then
Oh, that's cool.
It's really it's nice.
Yeah, that's cool that you can watch them practice.
That's where I'd want to watch.
It's really neat. Yeah, that's exactly what I want to watch. I just want to see like the different stuff, just the multiple pass-bys. Just
So,
out
yeah,
there for
being
hours.
close
Lawn
to,
chair and a beer. Give me a lawn chair and a beer, and I'm set.
Being close to the base is cool. It has its advantages. We do a little shopping, get to use the legal office, different things like that. So I don't know if a lot of veterans know all the resources. Sometimes that stuff is not broadcasted to them, but really kind of dig and dive into certain things. Close to the VA center as well. So we got a lot to reach out to, still feel like you're part of something, that you were used to.
That's awesome. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, being next to an area that has that heavy traffic of, veterans and also active duty. That is probably pretty cool. And what about VFWs and American Legions? I'm sure you have plenty of those.
There's we're surrounded them, and the amount of retirees here, especially like pilots from World War II and Vietnam era, it's just
That's
amazing. You just run into people all the time that are might have been full bird colonel flying in Vietnam.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's
We
awesome.
get a veteran post tour down there.
Yeah, we really
there's-
do. Yeah, we need
There's
to
some
get our buddy
memorabilia
Dan.
here. There's some memorabilia here too. We got the forts. that have been here a long time. You also have,
what was it? The Spanish that were down there?
what's that?
Was it the Spanish that were down there in the early 1700s?
That's correct. Pensacola, people think St. Augustine, Florida is old. Pensacola is older than St. Augustine. It's the oldest one. It's Five Flags, basically occupied by Five Flags. So.
Oh, wow.
That's pretty impressive.
Which the little local racetrack that brings up stock car drivers into NASCAR and different types of things, it's called Five Flag Speedway, named after the area here.
Oh.
So any of these forts are just very, very full of history. I mean, they've done a good job preserving what they can preserve, obviously. And the tours are just unbelievable, just going to some of these places.
Man, we're going to have to go down there.
Yeah. You got any tours lined up? You got any spots you want to go to next?
Sounds like I'll be there next weekend. Pencil me in.
Yeah, you'll be coming in on the tailcoats here, or no? Actually, you'll be getting in before spring break. Then come out, yeah.
It is actually probably the perfect time, either right before or a couple weeks after. Probably the best time.
The first time I ever came down here is I flew down here the first week in March of 2020, and obviously we know what was happening in March of 2020. So I spent like 4 days here, flew back, told Sally, yep, this is the place to go, start getting stuff ready. We have been planning something for a couple of years, but just kind of really didn't talk about it too much. Just kind of decided we're going to go somewhere there's a lot of water, a little bit warmer, not a lot of, just diverse topography, because you can go from the beach to palms and that, into basically pine forest where I live. So you just transition from different waterways, it's a, pretty.
That's cool. Yeah, right. Yeah, you can go out there, do some deep sea fishing. And then of course, whatever you want to do on the rivers and the tributaries that are.
I'll tell you the truth. I've been in that Gulf probably 20, 25 miles with my friend Mark, and he's crazy Cuban guy. But I don't like it out there. I get sick every time. I don't have sea legs. I get vertigo, and 26-foot boat, and you're just bouncing along. But I'm okay driving the boat. I'm okay driving my boat. I'm okay in the bays. I'm okay in the rivers, inlets. But as soon as I get out in the Gulf and there's nothing around, my gyroscope's all messed up.
Right on. Yeah.
Interesting.
Takes a little bit. Yeah, I don't know if you get used to it or not, but I haven't got used to being out there.
I think maybe after a lot of it.
I wonder what causes that for some people.
It has to do with equilibrium, your inner ear, I've had 2 sinus surgeries from flying, and then my balance is off, so I got vertigo. So different people, it doesn't affect him at all. He's fine.
Right. He's built for it.
But me, I'm done. But yeah, you guys will have to come
down. I was about
there.
to ask you.
Definitely so much history here, American history, just stuff starting back out, when they were just first walking on the virgin white sand and coming in and trying to, kind of settle around this area. So just tons of robust history from the United States and what these forts represented and who was in them and doing what they were doing to preserve freedom and liberty right here.
Yeah, right on.
Pretty amazing.
Definitely pretty cool. Yeah. Florida's crazy. It's a lot going on in that state.
Oh, so yeah, I was looking at some of the overlays that we've got. Something I wanted to bring up, and I know Dean likes talking about this, is his elk harvest.
Nice.
Oh, the Flagstaff Hunts for Heroes trip.
That's cool. That's really cool.
I just wanted to say, I really like how Dean is continuously paying it forward, and there's more to than just the harvest. He even donated the bust of it, and it was auctioned off, and I think they probably made a pretty good amount of money on that.
Oh, that's awesome.
Arizona Elk Society, who supports the Heroes Rising, the outdoor program for veterans, has their annual. Basically their banquets, and they go ahead and have a silent auction. They do raffles, and they generate a great deal of money for that program. And, kind of like wounded warriors and other different types of programs. They specifically tailor hunts to the sportsman veteran to go out and experience maybe something that they used to do, went in the military, got injured, have a disability, and they make these things happen. So, more power to people who dedicate their time. And these are guides, these are, meat processing people, taxidermists, everybody kind of comes together. And I believe that elk head, it was a 6x6 and it scored a pretty good score, made a magazine. And I believe that's up near Sedona somewhere. I can't remember the bar.
Woo.
It's sitting up somewhere in
On display.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome.
So that's a good memory of Arizona being way up north and getting something like that and coming home with 220 pounds of meat. Sustainment.
It was good.
We ate some of that and made a lot of different things and enjoyed that harvest. Yeah.
And that foundation or that charity, it's still a thing, right?
Correct.
It's still going on. Okay, we're gonna get the information from you, and we're gonna put that in our show notes.
We'll put it in the description underneath.
Yeah, we'll put it in the description.
If you would like, I can put you in touch with Tom Wagner. He's the guy who oversees most of those operations. Right. If he's still around, maybe he would like to jump on and do something with you.
Oh, even better.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll do both.
I'm putting that in the books.
Tom's a good guy.
Yep.
Very nice. Yeah, very
awesome.
nice. Very good.
Yeah, because that's like we were talking about how to transition, right? And how you need that camaraderie. And you're in a good area that if you were to transition, I feel like it would be seamless, because even if you didn't have even if your buddies left that base and you just stayed there, I feel like there's enough people around you that are like-minded that you'd be able to survive or get a new buddy. You know what I mean? It'd be good on the mental health.
Absolutely, yeah. You have a lot of that support network here. Whether you're near a base, near a VA, near the Legions, different VFW posts, and then having the amount of retirees down here, people who have served in all services and basically all campaigns. I mean, I meet a lot of people down here. I'm out and about a lot. So
that's awesome.
Definitely love it. Yeah.
Right on. So what was the poundage on that elk? How high did you count it by hands, or how big was that elk?
It actually measured out at a 6x6. It scored a 300, and it was over 600, probably 680, probably.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I was looking for. Yeah, the 6x6. I wasn't exactly sure what you meant by that, but it was. That's huge.
It was big.
It was probably maybe 5-year-old. They were saying, so it's been around for 5 or 6. That already.
That's awesome.
Definitely had some offspring and hopefully did well. It was an amazing tour there. Kind of like a lot of stuff. Speaking about transitioning, my transition out of the Air Force, I actually transitioned because I was over in Turkey and I was on a tour there, and I got to the point where I just couldn't forward deploy. We were going to have to go to Balad or Bagram, and I had a lot of stuff going on with my back. So I put in I already had coming up at 22 years and retired to E7. So I had my medical paperwork forward. And then when I got back to the States, it was, a lot of different things for me to learn how to transition out of the military, but take some of those skill sets and kind of move myself into jobs at first, and then more of career path. Because when I say jobs are like temporary. You're just kind of filling the gap. You might do something for 6 months, you might do it for a year, but yeah. So that's one thing that I did, and I kind of just kind of orchestrated a plan and said, you know what, each time I move into something, I'd like to, to better myself or learn something more or be part of another organization. So getting into that UAS, that UAV industry, I actually work for for 3 companies total. So
That's awesome.
kind of was out in Yuma for a while doing some stuff. Fort Hood up in Maryland at the factory, Fort Huachuca 3 years, and had the ability to teach out there. So yeah, a lot of different things that were thrown at me, and I just used a lot of those same skill sets from the military to adapt to them and just say, all right, just got to keep soaking this up like a sponge, learn it, and be able to perform it, orally and with your hands, because a lot of things when you're a mechanic, you just gotta read the book and go out there and twist the wrenches and make stuff happen. So
Right.
I work with the Marines, I work with the Army at Fort Huachuca, and then when I took off to Yuma, I was working with the Navy. It was a different program. So
It's awesome.
and the amount of people that you meet when when you get out there in these different contracts, whether you stay 6 months, a year, whatever it is, you just kind of put that that hand in there, and as you get more and more experience, and then working with the crew and doing certain things, it becomes more a family that way too, because it's a small, unique organization going out there and working with maybe 24 people or 50 people. Just you're not sucked in like a number. Everybody has a role and a responsibility. So and you got to kind of pick up the slack if somebody else goes down. So kind of the same as the military. Just
Right. Getting stuff done.
So yeah, about 4.5 years of contracting, and then I decided to use a degree, or my GI Bill or whatever that was, and go out and get a criminal justice degree, and kind of learned a little bit of that, and then within that associate's path, that 24 months or 27 months, I volunteered. First, I went to Pima County Juvenile, the court system. And I wanted to specialize in juvenile justice, so I volunteered for 2 years to work with juveniles. Got background checks, fingerprinted, badged. About the only thing that I couldn't do in that facility that housed them was touch them or anything. Like if there was a problem, the guards would have to do something. They're the living supervisors and people like that. So yeah, I learned a lot about that too, about the juvenile system. Sat in a lot of courts, a lot of child family therapies where judges and social workers and attorneys are trying to work out the path for a youth gone wild. And I was that youth. So growing up, I look back and, geez, I'm glad somebody grabbed a hold of me by my shirt like my uncle or something, told me he's gonna beat me with a 2x4 if I get out of line. So but yeah, here it was sad, rewarding, kind of exciting, and then just kind of summing that up about learning about kids, because you got to understand kids are our future, and what they're taught in school is one thing, but when they're taught in the streets, when they're not going to school, or there's some dynamic in the life where they don't have a mother, a father, they're being raised by an aunt, uncle, or they're just, sleeping on people's couches. It's a huge dynamic for a kid, 13, 14, 15 years old. It's just unbelievable.
Yeah, I can't imagine.
So that was pretty much what I did with my degree. A couple of years of that, and enjoyed that, and not something I'd want to do full time.
Yeah, that would be tough.
Hey, Dean, can you turn the volume down just a little bit on your end?
How's that right there?
Check.
It's just my big loud voice.
Okay, good. Yeah, because I was hearing myself. I just wanted to make sure. Okay, cool. So before I became a generator tech, I was thinking about going to the prison system down in Florence. I have a couple family members that were working up there that have been working there for over 20 years. I was thinking about being a prison guard, but being a mechanic, I just wasn't sure if I wanted to make that career change from going from one thing to another. I'd already been doing one thing for 15 years, like 12, 14, 15 years, and then doing something new and also having to travel a little further. It was a whole thing. So yeah, I can't imagine having,
There's a lot of different dynamics when it's people
trying
and
to
not
understand the kids, especially when it comes to kids. I guess this would have been adults that have done, struggle. There's something making a noise.
I think it's feedback from the speakers.
I don't hear anything at all.
Yeah, something's coming
It's
in.
just demons in the system.
Oh, it just seems like maybe it's a fan on this thing. I was thinking of that too. It could be like a.
I can still
Sounds
hear
insane. I love it. You could use that as like a horror movie overlay.
Like, it was just fine, but then I guess maybe it's getting hot
I don't know.
and it's kicking on.
It was getting kind of out of hand there.
Yeah, I can hear the fan. I mean, from here, so maybe it's just because it's an internal mic. Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting. Okay, so, but yeah, I guess. What was it, that show Scared Straight, where they bring in like 10, like 8 to 12-year-olds into a prison and they try and scare them to not committing crimes.
I love that show.
Robbing people. Yeah, bikes. Tom Segura has a skit about that show, about Scared Straight. Hold my pocket, and the inmate pulls out his pocket and he makes the kid grab onto his pocket and follow him. Like, hold my pocket. That was pretty funny.
I didn't see that one, but I seen some other ones that were kind of like the guy just got in his face and told me he was gonna like take off his head and dump down his neck or something. Like pop his eye out and use his socket as a hole, or for something. Very effective. I mean, we didn't do any of that. We did a lot of, mentoring one-on-one in groups and stuff like that. I was actually able to sit in on a lot of these teams that were dealing, and the education part of it. And then, when they did have to meet with the overall team that was taking care of their case or their disposition. So, I mean, some of these guys have been in there 10, 12 times, diversion after diversion. Once you become 17 and something and you've been in that system, you're leaving and going to the big place. You're going with the big boys if you keep doing that. So, seen it.
And that's probably if you're lucky. That's probably if you're lucky and don't get shot robbing somebody's house or, in a confrontation with the wrong guy on the street. Especially in Arizona, where most people are packing. You mess with the wrong guy.
Can happen anywhere.
Yep.
It can happen. Yeah, it could be pumping gas. It could be at the grocery. It could happen anywhere. It's got to remain vigilant of our times and what's going on. So
stay strapped or get clapped. That's what George Washington said.
It's nice because Alabama has the same laws as Arizona.
It's awesome. Are you guys constitutional carry too?
Correct.
All right. That's what I'm talking about. Pennsylvania needs to do it, but I know they won't. We've got a Democrat governor and senators at the moment.
You can dream someday.
The same old thing that, when you go to a gun show that these people complain about the gun show loophole or whatever, but all the gun shows
doesn't exist.
It doesn't exist. I mean, I don't even know what they're talking about because every show I've been to, and I've been to like 3 gun shows here. Been with they had a Shriners one, they had a couple at the fairgrounds in Alabama. It's I don't know.
Yeah.
I know Arizona got bad for a while. The ones they were doing at Pima County had a lot of infiltrators. And I dimed one out to the sheriff one time. I told him to get his dirty paws off my table. It was pretty interesting. I should have videotaped. Playing around
live streamed it on Twitch. Yeah.
He was touching my Daniel Defense 300 blackout, and I told him, "Get your grimy Fed paws off my gun."
Oh no!
He had a body cam on or something stupid.
Yeah,
you could see it.
He was trying to get you like O'Keefe Media. What's that?
No, he was playing the straw purchase, the straw man.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
no, I know. Yeah, but he's trying to get you, on hidden camera.
He was trying to pull the Mark Kelly.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I remember that one. And they refused to sell, so it actually worked.
And it worked. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and I had a friend.
Like it worked, and they're like, they still said it was too easy. I'm like, you didn't buy it.
You didn't get it.
They didn't let you walk out with it. They denied you. So how is that a win for you?
It was textbook. Yeah, application.
I had a good friend that worked at Diamondback Police Supply, the original Diamondback Police Supply, when that goof walked in there, or whatever it was.
Was that on Ina and Thornydale?
No, it was right over on the court. The original one was on like 22nd and Broad, go up that area.
Right on.
On the east side of Tucson, yeah. So.
Right.
He's sad.
Yeah.
Don't be doing straw purchases. But you can do gifts all day long.
Gifts. I do. I send people gifts all the time.
But I had a sign on my table, and I was putting down that you must be the purchaser of the firearm. You must. Yeah. This is a private table versus a dealer's table. You must have an Arizona ID.
Yeah.
So.
That's right. We're gonna need at least a little proof.
You ain't just selling all nilly-willy. Know your role.
That's true.
We'll come in here all hot and heavy with your AFT shirt on.
I sold my handgun there once, just walking around.
Yeah.
It was with Dean here. Yeah, I wore a sign and walked around.
That's freedom right there.
It was gone in no time.
I have a gun in my pocket. You want it?
Basically.
Actually, they put a zip tie through it. There's nothing. Ready to go.
Right. Yeah, I remember going through there one time, and they had to do that for my Taurus. I had a 40 caliber Taurus at the time.
I made some money. The dealer turned around, put it on his table in 5 seconds. He'll probably make a little money. Everyone's happy.
Yeah, $5. $20 is $20.
But that's the beauty of being in a place where they don't make up crazy laws on their own or interpret things a different way, and it's when you're in a place like that. That's what you do. I mean, that's freedom. That's the Constitution.
We're talking about all the crazy laws in these Democrat-run states that they don't actually follow, that they don't actually do.
Hostage zones.
They don't enforce it. They only enforce it on the people that are actually obeying the law. That's the only time that it's actually enforced.
Usually.
I mean, I don't know.
Because by virtue, the criminal acts in secret. I know.
Yeah, right. In the darkness. He's Batman.
Anybody do any fun things for their wife for Valentine's besides take care of MV's baby? And I know Ganglion's been ripping up his floors, trying to get that floor project done.
It was supposed to be the cabin, but then I got kind of sick, so.
Oh no.
And it was actually a good thing. We can talk about it another time. But because I was just asking, and I was asking God, get me real sick so I stop drinking, right? But it's never on my time, right? Never on a hard time. So of course it would happen the day we go to the cabin.
Mm-hmm.
And so I wasn't hung over, but I was sick with like the fever, the chills. I don't know what it was. It was horrendous. And so that was the sign.
Yeah.
It's great. Now it's free.
Sally had that crud, and so did my friend Mac. So how did you get rid of that? What was your regime?
112 milligram ivermectin, and just keep on going. I don't know. Woke up
that
the next
horse
day,
paste?
and it was like
Did you rub it on your teeth, or are you under the tongue? Suppository?
Yeah. No China tests here.
Hey. So I saw a meme and it said, I don't remember exactly the exact meme. It's buried in my phone right now, or else I would try and send it. But it was the Biden administration when they first got into office, and they had to go to China and they had to do the butt swabs.
See, Brooke forgot all about that, and she's like, that's when she told me I need to do. I'll have to tell you off stream. but I have a
That's what I
project
do.
in mind. Because yes,
That's
people
what I
forget
do.
that. They forget things like that. Like bend over.
The butt swabs was so funny. I was like, yep, that would be the administration that you would test it on.
And then they
Get her
took it to the
done.
next step, and then they were testing
They did it too.
chambers.
They did it. They took those. They took the test. They took the butt test. They conceded to the
they all failed.
conceded to the communists.
Oh, so that they used that test kit?
They didn't have.
China
They
did.
didn't have to do that test to capitulate.
That
was for fun.
Yeah, China did it to test the waters on this administration, and went,
and
we can do whatever we want.
And they sent over another balloon. What is this?
Yeah. Hey, we got another one hovering above one of those
Midwest
states,
now,
Idaho
for sure.
or Montana. Yeah,
That's a 50-foot balloon with a 2x2 payload or something. Yeah.
Yeah, with the mysterious aluminum box.
Nice.
Mysterious aluminum box.
I
Yeah.
want to know what's
Yeah,
inside this box.
Your UAS, tell us what it is. What's in that balloon, Dean?
Well, I could honestly say that it's probably our own people doing stupid shit to basically generate distractions and propaganda.
Stop it.
I mean,
Stop it. We would never. We would never. The CIA.
Somebody's having fun either. Maybe it's Rocket Man this time. Maybe it's Balloon Boy or something, you know?
Balloon Boy? Elon Musk
Balloon
just
Boy?
trolling the government? Oh, yeah. That's... I forget the details on that one, but yeah.
They said he was...
What?
He was... They had tied a whole
Was it
bunch
a
of
hot air
balloons to a
balloon?
chair or something. Yeah. Like a
I
homemade
thought it was a hot air
balloon.
balloon.
And it got away. But this kid was actually just in the garage, and they thought they were going to go viral for it.
Oh, yeah.
But then they didn't
Wow.
realize, like, what were they going to do with the kid? The police found him hiding in the garage.
Ooh. I think that was like right after Elian Gonzalez and all that stuff happened in Florida. Had to have been close to that time because I remember it as a kid.
Yeah, right.
You ever fly in
Boy,
one of
was
those
it-
things?
What, in a hot air balloon?
Yeah.
I want to. Not yet.
Is it
I
fun?
did in Sedona reluctantly.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Did you like it?
No, I didn't.
Never again.
I like taking off and being up there, but I did not like the I guess it would be like a controlled crash. I just felt, like when the thing came in, it was the way it was coming in. It was like,
Oh, it's like a parachute where you just have to land sideways on your legs.
yeah. I mean, if you got 6 people in the gondola and you're coming in like, sideways, you're landing, feel just kind of lay the bucket over. But you got to remember, you got the gas in there and the flame, and you got cables, that hold the balloon. I'm thinking to myself,
Fire.
coming out of OSHA, I'm like, like there's every hazard here possibly, and you're going to try to land on a field or
In an
something.
open field,
Yeah. Something. Yeah, I'd never do it again. Just like, thankfully, I've never jumped out of a plane.
Yeah. You haven't skydived?
No.
No. That's one thing I want to do before I leave this earth.
Yeah.
Skydive.
I probably wouldn't even go down on the beach if you guys
Before the
go down,
rapture.
I'll take you down to the parasail. You can get hooked up there and go out over the
That'd be
Gulf.
cool.
I want to do that.
That'd be cool.
That's pretty-
I'm just afraid that if I'm on a parasail, it'll be smooth, and then just like I throw a frisbee, it just dives right into the ground.
It's
It's
possible.
what I
okay.
was-
Throttle
That's what I'm
out.
afraid of. Yeah. No, throttle in. You gotta coast through it.
Coast through it.
Goes through the turn. Pull out of the turn. So that you don't crash, so you don't spin out. You gotta pull through the turn.
Now I watch some guys all the time. They're in Santa Rosa Sound because the sound's a little bit smaller than the Pensacola Bay, so it's narrower and longer, and the water's a lot more placid, and just they do a good job. These guys are. I mean, it's nice.
It's cool.
I think it would be a good experience for someone. Who's
Yeah,
never
I'd like to do it on the
done that.
water. Yeah, on the water would be cool. was it surfing with the sail? What do you call it?
Mm-hmm.
That big pair, yeah, the big canopy.
Yeah, yeah. But on a surfboard or wakeboard.
Oh, those guys.
That looks really
that's
cool.
kite-
That
that's
looks
kite
cool.
surfing down here.
Yeah, kite surfing.
Kite surfing.
I would like to do some kite surfing. Wind surfing. That's the actual term, I think, is what it is. Yeah,
Well, wind surfing is like a long board with a wind thing. The other one is like a smaller board with a kite.
Yeah, with the actual kite. Yeah,
I
I want to
think-
do both. Porque no los dos.
Mm-hmm.
Give me
Yeah.
both.
I've done the one with the sail, but I was real young, so it was
You had?
difficult. It was it was hard for me.
You're tiny, Corey.
It was when I was in Canada
Tiny Corey.
on the Great Lakes.
Now you got massive Corey. You can do it now.
Working on it. Yeah, now I can windsurf.
Yeah, you can go up to Rose Canyon and do it.
I think we're gonna do Roosevelt at some point soon.
Yeah, Roosevelt too. I was talking about Rose Canyon on Mount Lemon.
I think it's pretty expensive now. The
Where
increased
we
day
cut all
used to
that.
be-
We cut all that. It wasn't
Trout.
trout that we caught. It was trout.
I think it's all rainbow trout.
Mm-hmm.
Nice
stock.
campground there, right?
Oh yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah, it
up there.
looked cool.
I love it.
I think I stayed there once at that Rose Canyon Lake. Yeah.
Yeah, it's perfect in summertime. It's like a 30-degree difference once you get up that high.
Mm-hmm.
It was good fishing, man. The Mexicans were out there. They were fishing with corn. They were using bobbers and corn to catch this fish. They were catching a lot too.
Oh, speaking
It
of
was like,
fishing for veterans, there's another, if you jot this down, there's another agency called Healing Waters, and they do a lot of trout fishing up in the White Mountains. They do a lot. It's a group you sign up on, and then everybody meets up there and does trips up there.
where are the White Mountains at?
Arizona,
Oh, okay.
up in mainly Pine Top, Lakeside, Payson, up that area
Okay.
north. So yeah, they do a lot of that stuff up there. That's another thing that's available.
That's where I want to
That's
move.
awesome. Yeah, that would be awesome.
Yeah,
I
I mean,
wonder-
I used to own a couple lots up there. My intention was to homestead up there. You know, have a kind of 2.5 acre parcel for more rural agriculture, and then have a smaller lot up on the ridge line to have a small, cabin in a garage. But the winters, I just realized I just needed to get away from the cold in general. My body doesn't tolerate. If it gets below 40 degrees, I just don't do well. I seize up.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd like to be back in the warmer temperatures. Get the motorcycles out every day. My motorcycle's been in the garage since October.
It's terrible.
Yeah,
Too long.
since the baby shower.
Yeah,
my
and you got that
motorcycles
too,
have
right?
just been sitting. They've just been
Mhm.
sitting.
My birthday was in October. That's the last time I took out the boat, October weekend. It's been sitting there covered up. So I'm ready to go,
Yeah, we were talking about that last night. What kind of boat do you got, Dean?
I'm running a 24-foot Hurricane with a 200 Yamaha.
All right.
It-
200 Yamaha. That's some power there.
Yep, it gets us to all these nice little beaches where people don't go, and gets you up the intercoastal, up the bays. No problem anywhere around.
Nice. Corey, don't we have a picture of that boat?
We
Let's
have.
get some visuals.
I don't know if it's that boat. But
Well, it's one of them. I thought I saw a
Yeah.
boat on here.
here we go. Is
I
that
might
your
have
boat?
Yeah, that one.
Oh no, that's us
Is that
out in the
it?
Gulf. That's Mark's boat. That's
Mark.
we're out there.
Oh. All right. Well, that's a boat, people. If you guys
Yeah.
didn't know what a boat is, that's
That's not
a
Dave's boat, but that's Dave
Yeah.
bought a
Well,
boat.
that's just
So
how
that's
the-
pretty close.
Actually, that's
close.
me. That's me telling Mark, get the hell pointed towards the shore. We're 20 miles away because there's squalls starting to come. I'm like, I don't want to be out here. I'm
This
just
is where
telling
you
you.
want to be.
That's where you want to be right there.
That was good. That was good.
Yeah,
Transition.
it's looking. Look how clear that water is.
Oh, we need to clip that and make it a reel or something. That was funny.
It is
For
Caribbean,
sure.
like that's for sure. If it gets clear and the water's in the 80s, it's really nice. I mean,
So your guys's beach, does it take a long time for it to cliff off, or does it cliff off pretty soon?
it depends on where you're located between Alabama and Florida before you get to the panhandle, but there's shelves and sometimes you can walk out hundreds and hundreds of feet and you're only waist high to neck high water. So you're on like little sandbars and stuff. And then other places it's a lot less and then drops, but.
Right. That's the way it was in the Keys when we went to the Keys for our honeymoon.
It's a little more rocky down in the Keys.
Yeah.
The shorelines are a little bit more rocky. It's a little bit different down there. This is just
they have a veterans beach on the Keys. I think it's right before the 7 Mile bridge. So they got a veterans beach right there. It's pretty neat. Yeah,
I was able to use the Key West Naval Air Station billeting, which was nice when I was down there.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, I forget. We were on the island of Marathon. That's where we stayed. We were like right in the middle of all islands. It was the best spot.
Are you from Florida then?
No. It was the first time down there.
Oh, okay.
Down in July. We went in the worst time of the year.
So
it was so hot.
It's brutal down there. I don't know how people could be down there June, July, August.
If the water was cooler, that would have been sweet. But the water was the same temperature as the air.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And so was the pool at the hotel. Pool was the same temperature as the air.
It's stifling. I mean, this last summer we had heat indexes 110, 115, maximum humidity. I mean, you could only go out for 15 minutes or so, but you'd be drained. Can't be sitting at a beach all day.
So I have been having throat or nose issues for the past year and a half. And when I went down to the Keys, all of that went away.
Correct.
And I thought it was a throat issue. No, it's actually my sinuses. So I've got to get something fixed up there. But yeah, it was so nice I was able to think clearly. My face didn't constantly hurt. That was pretty sweet.
Fresh, salty air going right to the brain.
Yeah. It was nice. And I was thinking, man, I could definitely be a generator tech down here. Now all the generators were on stilts and, sitting about this high. So everything was a ladder or on a platform. So that's kind of a pain in the butt, but
easy to drain.
Give and take. You give and take, right? So you get
when those hurricanes
weather. That's when you make your money.
That's when you make your money because
that's when you make your money in your overtime. And plus, it was so when you're driving through the Keys, you're driving on that main road. That speed limit is strict. They don't let you go 5 over. You will get pulled over immediately. I was seeing people pulled over constantly, and they have cops lined up. They have dummy cars too. So, I mean, it is just take your time. Take your time to get to every job site. Yeah, take your time to get to every job site, and you're good to go.
The fishing down there is incredible. Of all the places I fished with my grandfather.
Pick up your computer. Never mind, it's done now. Never mind. Okay, it's good now. The fan was going off.
It was growling at us.
Yeah, it was yelling.
I can hear the fan. Yeah.
Yeah, it was yelling at me. So yeah, I'll have to send you. I have my laptop on a little stand, and it tilts and whatnot. So the fan underneath it will also have this separate mic. So that would probably eliminate it.
Be a lot of it.
Yeah. So, anyways, let's move on.
See here. Got some more photos.
Florida was fun. I was able to actually think, besides it being so hot, I was able to think clearly and breathe normally.
Oh, you know what? The air, you're not going to find air any more oxygenated than down there,
Right. It was awesome, man. It was beautiful.
Fresh scrubs.
I could just see myself just living on a boat. I would just get a houseboat and just live in the marina.
Pirate radio.
Yeah. Oh, tight. Tar and feather on the sea.
That's right.
Oh, maybe we can do a
Jolly Roger.
Hey, what's
maybe we can do a flag. Is there any place we can get a tar and feather flag? I can fly that off the boat this year. If somebody make us a flag.
I'll make you a flag. I already have one made.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah. It's right there.
where do you get those done at?
Oh, custom made.
That is nice.
I forget
now
the site. Oh, flaghub.com. It was only $20.
I'll
Wow.
take it.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. $20. And then that is my Whiskey Rebellion flag. Pretty neat. That was $20 too. Cheap, fun.
I have 8 flying.
Whoa,
I just
what
got
we
new
can
flags
do,
in.
Corey,
Yes.
what we can do is that red logo. You see the one where it's just this? It's just this part. It doesn't have the Manifest Destiny.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we can get that as a flag so it's nice, big, and red. What do you think? Or we can do this. I like the black because black is pirate.
We can do anything we want.
Yeah, black is pirate. I have a Blackbeard flag in my garage. Edward Teach's flag. It's pretty dope.
Anybody working on anything at the house? You do it, getting your floor done there, Ganglion?
Well, no. I am going to this weekend. I got the stuff to fill all the holes in from the tack strips from where all the nails came out. So I'll do that next. And then just prepping the floor, figuring out what we're going to do. I think I'm going to move on to the outside of the house probably before I do that.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna scrape but I'm gonna do it all. I'm gonna scrape and prep all the loose stuff that comes off, and then paint. So got my work cut out. Just do it section by
Projects
section.
and more projects.
They never stop.
Right.
Oh no, I'm busy here all the time. It's just
He knows all about it.
That's a cool tractor.
I love it. I wish I had a nice.
that thing rips some dirt piles and stone. It's awesome.
It would even rip Arizona dirt.
I think so. I can get into some clay. I don't know once I get down to that caliche though. Here I got just red clay.
Yeah, that is a special thing.
Corey, you need to get one of those small ditch witches, and then just the little hoe attachment. Just
I should have taken a picture. I saw a bulldozer for sale for $3,000.
That's it.
I see a lot of really good equipment, like way out,
Yeah.
outside of Tucson when I'm doing work and stuff. You see it all the time in all these fields.
Nice. That's awesome.
Start a flotilla of bulldozers.
Yeah.
I'd love to have a bulldozer.
Oh yeah, you'd be plowing all those trees over.
Yeah.
Have you
Trees.
seen them take trees down with the chain?
Buildings.
Well, no, the reason I would like to have one is because eventually I want to find about 5 to 10 acres out here and put a road in like 300 feet deep in the middle of the woods and build one of those little barn-dominium deals like a,
Oh yeah. That'd be cool.
Yeah, there's still so
Build
much
a garage with a loft.
That's exactly
Loft would be
it. Yeah,
living
just
quarters. Loft would be living quarters. The rest would be your cars and whatnot. All your fun toys.
Yeah, all that vertical space really gives you, perception. You got so much more space.
Get a giant screen that comes down, projector.
You can sleep with all your
Well,
cars.
you can set the walls. You can set the walls at 10, 12, and 14, and then when you got the pitch, you add another 3 or 4. So you can technically put a second floor in some of them, or just do like a little loft at each end. That's how.
Well, that's what I was saying. Have the loft go almost the entire length of it, and then you can make that the living quarters. Put a kitchen up there. Put the bedroom up there. I'll put the bedroom on one end, kitchen on the other end, and then have the projector or whatever movie theater in the middle projecting out to the other end of the barn.
Yeah.
How's that look visually?
Full system.
Yeah. And then your car's underneath. And then you would just have steps going up to the middle part.
I just would really like to have some extra property and go out and put something like that in and have like a kind of a retreat, maybe do a 501c and have it like a retreat for people or something, something to pay it forward again, not necessarily
right.
something I have to live in, but you got the property and you got some resources, you can, maybe do some good things with it. So
be cool.
That's right.
It's always nice to have ideas.
God will change someone else's life.
Having land is what it's all about.
I think so.
Yeah.
It's definitely true.
You never have enough.
I'm looking for some right now.
I can never have enough. I just want all the toys. I want all the four-wheelers. I want all the go-karts. Just go ham. The neighbor kids, they get their four-wheelers out. They got a track in the backyard that they've been circling around. It looks like Bristol Motor Speedway back there.
It's a very tight track.
Got the high bank on one side. Got the high bank, and then they come down. Woo! When it was snowing, they packed a little kicker, and they were doing jumps over the little creek in the backyard.
Oh,
Wow.
On the four-wheeler. It was cool. It's cool.
Won't catch me jumping it.
I was gonna get some pictures, but I was wearing my Converses at the time, and I didn't want to get them wet because I was working out, and I was already freezing. It was like 20 degrees outside, but it looked like a lot of fun.
Well, at least kids are out doing something, having fun. That's got to get them out of the house.
Yeah, the smaller one ended up breaking his arm last year because he rolled his go-kart.
Wow.
He made a turn a little bit too tight, and I think the arm went out the go-kart, and he ended up breaking it. He's good now, but yeah. But I mean, you're not having fun, or you're not going all out if you don't get hurt, right?
It's all fun and games.
Almost. That's all. That's when you know that you're having the most fun, is when you do get hurt at the end. You do get hurt. It's when you know you're going over 100%. Testing.
I can't imagine how many miles I rode in the desert on the quad, and I never came off my quad. I had close calls, but
yeah,
thousands of miles of riding. I mean, all for years from 2008 to like 17 or something like that.
Yeah, but you're also not testing that daredevil ability that a 12-year-old would do.
My mind's not programmed like that. It's just like, get to this place on the map and get there safely.
Exactly. Now these kids are running full bore out there. They're pedal to metal. They're not all gas, no brakes.
They've got a few more years.
Yeah, exactly. That's how I feel.
Yeah.
I can hear somebody trying to get in this office here.
With the dog?
No, it's not a dog this time. It's at the door.
I know who it is. Yeah.
What do we got here? Let's see. Who's this? All right. Hey, what's going on, buddy?
There's a cat.
Got a special guest.
This is Little Bo right here. Hi, Little Bo. This one I got down at the marina. He was about a couple months old.
It's a marina cat.
Marina cat. They're catching tuna.
Yeah, he looks like a swimmer.
Yeah, I got him down at the marina. He was a stray, and I picked him up. Sally and I went down there and got him. We have 6 rescue cats.
Right on.
What?
That's a lot of cats.
We have 2 orange. We actually have a 3 pair: 2 orange, 2 black, and 2 gray. So when I built the patio, there's 300 square foot of cat house out there. The patio's was made for
it's awesome.
these nutcases.
That's some good space for that. get their exercise. That's a healthy looking cat too.
Oh, they're all healthy.
Yeah, that's good.
But that house is rodent free.
Yeah, we
For
don't
sure.
have any rodents. We don't have anything around.
I know
And no
my
cheese.
cat caught a few the first couple months that we were living in this house.
Nice. Cleared
And
it
we
out.
sealed off. Yeah, we sealed off the mud room, and then I think that kind of ended the cat's reign. She didn't have to.
These
She
are
didn't
all
have to
indoor
kill
cats.
anymore.
They all get along. It's like pretty
Pretty
nice.
surprising.
That's nice. What else we got, fellas? So about like transition. Well, let's talk about this real quick. Dean, you were talking about last night, like 1 year, 5 year, 10-year plans, right? In order to be successful. Let's talk about your idea on, game planning for your future, your purpose. What's some advice that you got for some veterans freshly coming out or veterans 10 years down the road? How do they start to get on track without it being like this huge, cumbersome, or too much at one time thing?
A lot of things that you can kind of do to help yourself is number one, not keep a lot of stuff in your head. Take a lot of notes and then reach out to the different resources, whether it's like a vet center or someplace that might help you write your resume, someplace,
Right.
All these different places where like, militaryhire.com, usajobs.com. If you're going out there into the career path, start tracking all that stuff and put yourself out anywhere and everywhere.
Right on.
I found that you'll get a lot of feedback, and your interview, if you get called for one, or your job that you may be going for, you might not always get it, but the experience that you have going out and starting at that part of it, a lot of that stuff isn't taught. You have to go out and kind of learn it or adapt it. You weren't doing that in the military, whether you're in there for 4 years or 24 years. So something you got to learn to do, adapt to it and perfect it, just like anything else, riding a motorcycle, operating a piece of machinery, you just got to kind of chip away at it. So
find the place that you see yourself excelling in, like that you see yourself in the future, not just because when we were in the military, there was a purpose, there was a mission, right? Find your mission, find a career path that allows that gives you a vision to move forward. That's how I feel.
Kind of one of the philosophies that I used is I kind of used it in the military, and then I used it on the outside, that when I start waking up in the morning and I don't have that energy to go and do that mission or whatever it is, whether it's the military mission, the civilian task, or just the meaningful jobs or whatever, I said to myself, it's time to start, once I start feeling that, it's time to start planning something else.
Right.
Time to kind of realize in your head, like, I don't have the energy to do this, or I don't have, it's not like it was when I first started, whether it was a year, 2 years, and start looking at what
that's how I feel like the previous, your Generation X, right? I felt like Generation X and before, it was you stuck to the same company. You became a loyal company man. That's how you moved up in the world. That's how you got your raises. And now it's almost the exact opposite. You stick with the company for a little while, you get trained up, and then you excel. And a lot of companies aren't giving you pay raises as substantial as if you were to then interview with a different company and hire onto them, you would then be able to climb up, and it's almost like a back and forth thing within your field. I feel like, and I was able to do that a little bit within the field that I'm in, because I was working in St. Louis, started out there, and then moved back to Arizona, and then moved out to the East Coast. And then I was able to say, hey, I have this experience, and I'm moving out here for you guys. Can I get a little bit more in the bank?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's another thing, negotiation skills and stuff like that too. When you're out, don't ever, your abilities, and sometimes, a lot of times we'll undervalue or undersell ourselves. But
that's the truth.
It's not bad to like bargain, or especially if you're getting a job that you might really, really like, and the price is close, or and something that wage wise that you can live with.
Yeah.
Maybe say, well, if I'm a stellar performer and in 6 months, is there some type of incentive? So like at least know what your boundaries are and where you can go. Like you were saying, progression. Maybe you can only get somebody.
Yeah, there was the job the generator tech job that I had in St. Louis. There was a $2 bump if I did some extra training, on the job training. Taking what was it? It was a journeyman's test, electrical journeyman's test, or apprentice test. And if I were to pass that apprentice test, that was an extra $2 raise automatically. So, but I ended up leaving that company. There was things I didn't like. It was unsafe, blah, blah, blah. I just didn't like the way things were ran there. So it wasn't anything like the Army, and I was a little spooked about it, and I got out of there as fast as I could. So we'll let the A10 Warthog pass real quick.
I feel you on that, because I was doing something like that on the Tucson airport side, and I was in a hangar, and I was like, I don't know, something just seemed unsafe, and there was people getting hurt on that site, and I was like, you know what? I'll be here 6 months, and I'm moving on. I'm gonna start pumping out some resumes to some other stuff, and that's kind of when I got into that UAS stuff with a safety background in aviation.
Yeah,
I just slipped myself into something.
I feel like that happens. So when you have the right tools, you get jobs done easier and safely, right? I feel like when you're in situations like that, like the situation I was in, the managers didn't have the right tools or know-how in order to manage those situations for the techs. And they're like, hey, we're just going to send you out here blindly and have fun. Like, I was either given equipment that just wasn't good enough, or just wasn't safe, or we were doing something in the shop and didn't have the right tools to do it safely. So blah, blah, blah. It just wasn't, management just didn't have their stuff together. Now, it was a new shop, so it was kind of difficult.
Yeah.
Start new with.
I couldn't do well in that environment whatsoever. I would be like, no, that's kind of why I would.
Yeah. Well,
never settle for unsafe.
In Iraq, we did a bunch of I feel like we didn't always have the right tool, but we were still doing it, I guess, semi-safe. I felt safer doing.
If it doesn't come from the little green box, we can't do it.
Yeah, I felt even jacking stuff up with a forklift and a chain. I still felt safer doing that than
using the jack.
Stuff that I was doing. And the stuff that I was doing for that one company. I don't work for them anymore. I just want to disclose that, because there's people that I work with that watch this. I just want to disclose that.
Yeah, no, I worked at a company where the forklift was too little, and it wasn't lifting, so they were telling people to stand on the back. I told them, no, I'm not climbing up on the forklift.
Right.
Wait.
See, and that's what's known as a turning point in your job or career path. Right there, you have to say to yourself, okay, I just can't see myself band-aiding these people, even though you might be able to fix some of the stuff. You just can't put band-aids on everything. And it's frustrating when you don't have the right resources, the training, and whatever. You're working with people that are maybe knuckleheads or unsafe, so I just take all that stuff.
Protect yourself
with a grain of salt.
Yeah, and who's responsible for your safety?
The man in the mirror.
You.
I'm responsible, yeah.
Me, myself, and I. You're responsible for yourself. So if you can't do it safely, then you can't do it. That's point blank. And luckily, I work for a company that if it is unsafe, I can put a stop to it and ask the customer to move something or come back at a later date when everything is adjusted. Because I've gone to sites where the generator would be in a parking garage, and they like to put their trash around all their cardboard and stuff around the generator, and then I have no access to the generator. Also, it's a flammable hazard, fire hazard. So,
what you think's going on?
Yeah. So, all right. Well, I think this is going to be a part 2 for sure. Yeah, I think your laptop at this point, Dean, is ready to take a break. So
yeah, this thing is. I don't hear the fan running right now, but I can see that. Yeah,
you can see the smoke coming out the back.
So
this is an HP 8. It's probably 8 years old. It's old. It's like
that's awesome. Pretty good. Well, keep doing it. Good picture.
Right. Update.
I'll have to send you a microphone because we're gonna have you on more often. I'll have to send you a microphone.
Well, it's a pleasure. I hope to come up with some more interesting facts for our veterans, and maybe some people can chime in on some of the comments and share some things, and look for more resources and ways to help out people, because that's what it's all about anyway. So
yeah.
It does. That's what it's all about, working together, and don't crawl back into a corner and be a recluse. And we've all got to
reach out. If you're having some difficulty, reach out. You can't talk yourself. You can't talk yourself out of it. You need to talk to somebody. You need to talk to the boys, or you need to talk to a therapist, psychologist. Talk to somebody.
I'm going to talk with that cat if he keeps jumping on my printer over there. We're going to have a little talk.
He's about to do something.
The kung fu fight.
Yeah, John, it's been a pleasure. Let's kind of plan a 2025 Tar and Feather reunion down here in the Gulf Coast. I can put everybody up in accommodations and provide the entertainment and food, and got a barbecue shack going in. We got a few other little features coming. So maybe
that's awesome.
Next one, we can show some home improvements and
doing Tar and Feather on the road.
Hopefully.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, once Kiddo gets a little bit better, we'll be coming down to Florida. I got family in Tampa, so we'll be making our way down there. All right.
Shut that light off on me, man.
All right. On that note, we're signing out. Thanks, Dean.
All right.
Thank you, Dean.
So,
Tar and Feather signing out.
Bye.
Good night.
Taxation's theft.
Always has been, always will be.